Good night, people. Welcome everyone to our news channel. Here you are always well informed. I ask you to subscribe to the channel, leave your like, and thank you very much. Congressional voices across the board stressed the historic scale and scope of Yevgeny Prigozhin's declaration of war on Russian military leadership. Lawmakers on Saturday spoke out in unison on the historic significance of escalating conflict in Russia after warlord Yevgeny Prigozhin declared war on his own country's military leadership and threatened to march on Moscow. Senators and House members noted in particular the implications of Prigozhin's efforts on Russian President Vladimir Putin's war of aggression against Ukraine, while some voiced concern about the potential brutality of a Prigozhin-led insurrection. Our national security agencies are closely following the extraordinary internal conflict among Russian forces currently underway, Senator Marco Rubio, Republican Florida, a senior member of the Senate Committee on Foreign Relations, wrote on Twitter. No matter how this turns, it is certain to have a significant and potentially historic impact. Representative Elissa Slotkin, Democrat Michigan, called the development breathtaking and the clearest public confirmation of the folly of Putin's invasion of Ukraine. Slotkin suggested the internal threat from Prigozhin was a clear indicator of Putin's military vulnerability, comparing the conflict in Russia to the U.S. military depending on an armed defense contractor, who then turned on U.S. leadership and marched on Washington, D.C. This escalating conflict between the Wagner Group and the Russian military would not be occurring if Russia's illegal invasion of Ukraine was going well, Representative Ted Lieu, Democrat California, a member of the House Committee on Foreign Affairs, wrote on Twitter. Clearly it is not. Representative Jason Crow, Democrat Colorado, a member of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, called on Ukraine to take advantage of the short-term benefits of Prigozhin-led upheaval. This will almost certainly benefit the Ukrainian counteroffensive in the near term and Ukraine should move fast to capitalize, Crow wrote on Saturday. Prigozhin, a former Putin loyalist who has led the private Wagner Group's effort in the Russian war against Ukraine, threatened to march on Moscow after seizing crucial territories in southern Russia, including the strategically positioned city of Rostov-on-Don. Wagner, the organization Prigozhin helms, is a coalition of militant mercenaries that have worked with the Russian military during the country's 16-month invasion of Ukraine. Prigozhin's decision to break from Russian military leadership comes after frequent clashes with Russian military leaders. He has taken to social media to criticize Russia's lack of preparedness for the war, arguing that the war in Ukraine has been led by Wagner forces. Lawmakers noted Prigozhin's reputation for brutality and the Wagner Group's deep involvement in the war against Ukraine. Representative Joaquin Castro, Democrat Texas, a member of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, wrote on Twitter that Prigozhin was as bad as, arguably worse than, Putin. Let's be absolutely clear about who Prigozhin is and what he wants, Representative Eric Swalwell, Democrat California, a member of the House Committee on Homeland Security, wrote on Twitter. This guy is a murderous thug. And he doesn't want an Iskra in Russia, he wants a military change of command so he can lead a more efficient slaughtering of innocent Ukrainians.